there was a lot of people comfortable insulting a little child. Just being like, what a little porker, what a little hog.
I was so small and I would still edit my hips a little bit skinnier and my thighs a little bit skinnier.
Like even the compliments that are like, oh, you look so good, have you lost weight? And you're like,
yeah.
Rock with me, all my girls with me.
Hello and welcome to Prime Video's Wilds Retreat. I'm Chessie King and today I am joined by the glorious Honey Ross, podcast host and co-founder of The Pink Protest, and activist, and Sophie Milner, award-winning influencer, podcaster and YouTuber. Now today we're going to be talking all things body confidence, social media, body shaming, societal pressures on women to look a certain way and the impact this all has on our mental health. So Honey, were you always confident in your body as a teen?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Were we? Was anyone?
How? How does one be confident as a teenager? No, I really didn't like myself. And I feel so sad when I think about that now. I really didn't like myself as a teenager. I didn't like my body. I was very aware from an early age, because I've always been bigger. I was very aware that that was not celebrated. Some of my best friends are thin, and they, you know, you walk through life with them and you see that it's a very different kind of treatment, you know? So no, I wasn't, long story short.
We'll get more into that. But Sophie, was it something that you struggled with, or have you always felt like you're best friends with your body?
Oh, yeah, absolutely not, once more. I went to a really small primary school and I was one of the bigger girls, and I then went through a phase where in secondary school I lost so much weight and really had a lot of issues with my body image and with my food, and it was a real issue for me. So it's taken a long time to get to a point where I'm just like, yeah, my body's my body. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not great, but that's fine. It does what it needs to.
Now, are you best friends with your body?
Yeah, I do think I've come so far with it. I think it's very natural for us all to look in the mirror sometimes and think, oh, that's annoying, or I don't like that. But it's the point where I look in the mirror and I may think these things, but there's more to life than just that.
Well, also like what you said of kind of going, how far it's got me, look what it can do for me, of being like, my body practically has carried me this far.
Yeah, your body's more than just how it looks. When I kind of realised that, it was like someone slapped me in the face, and I was like, wow, this is what my mum said would happen to me at some point. My mum always said, she was like, you're going to get a bit older, you'll still care how you look, but you will care less about it as much, you'll accept it more. Sometimes I put on weight, sometimes I lose weight, and that's okay. No one values me any less. Why should I value myself less for those reasons?
Completely.
And isn't it amazing that our family and friends don't care what we look like? Obviously there are some members of our family, like even the compliments that are like, oh, you look so good, have you lost weight? And you're like,
yeah.
Like those two are like hand in hand, like an achievement. And I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's like learning how to get good at giving non-body related compliments.
Yeah.
Like that is the way forward, isn't it? Kind of thing like, your smile lights up any room.
I know, I
you
love
have
that.
You have a beautiful soul. And that's the kind of compliment where you go, oh my God, I have a beautiful soul.
Yeah,
Smile
exactly.
more.
Yeah,
exactly.
oh my God, exactly.
have you experienced body shaming online and offline, or is it mainly just through your social media?
I've received body shaming in a lot of different ways. I think I said that like quite exciting.
Yes,
A lot of different ways.
look at me.
I grew up in the public eye because I've got parents kind of in different industries in the public eye. So I kind of very much grew up having my image thrust out there without any kind of, I had
permission.
no say in that. No permission, exactly. And images of me when I was very young. And that would end up on the Daily Mail. And then there was a lot of people who are comfortable insulting a little child. Just being like, what a little porker, what a little hog. So I found them and was like, oh, okay, this is how people feel about people in larger bodies. Like, that's fantastic to know. But it also kind of grateful for it because it gave me such an insight into people and how dark it can be. And also, usually that when people are saying things like that, it's coming from a place of shame, and it's usually actually about how they feel about themselves. And then, yeah, as I got older, Instagram, it's actually been mainly so positive, and people love a big body. It's gorgeous. Like, why? It's celebrate it. It's
the
stunning.
best thing.
Yeah,
Definitely. And obviously body image issues can have such a huge impact on our mental health. Are you happy to share with us like the mental health effects it's had on you?
Sure. I would set myself off into a very deep depression by just saying such cruel things to myself. I was so hard on myself, and it affected every area of my life, my confidence, the anxiety I felt going into social situations. I would have never had the courage to do something like this because I thought, you know, why should you be doing that? I'm not even going to say it. I hate that I was held back for so many years by not liking myself.
Yeah. But what you are doing and what we all can do is use that experience to then help those younger people. And Sophie, has it had an effect on your mental health throughout the years?
Massively. You know what? I think getting a little bit older, I've really realised how much it used to affect me when I was especially younger. Like, I went from being one of the bigger girls in primary school to being sickeningly thin. And I remember us girls sat down and we had to work out our BMI, and we were all working out who had the lowest and who was the most underweight. My science teacher was so upset, she walked out crying, and we were there like, what's her problem?
Yeah.
Didn't understand it then, because all it was about was being like thin and skinny and whatever, and it was all this like, that's all we cared about. I know it affects boys as well, but it was definitely something that affected the girls way more than the guys. I thought it was normal, and I know that a lot of girls went through similar experiences to me. I used to buy so many anti-cellulite creams and stuff, and now I'm like, oh my God, cellulite is so bloody normal. Like, I had a realisation that it was only probably 18 months ago, and I sat down and took some like bikini pics on holiday, and all the cellulite at the back of my legs, and I was like, damn, I look hot in these pictures. I was like, I'm posting them. I was like, I'm not. And I used to edit my pictures, like this was like probably 4 or 5 years ago. I was so small, and I would still edit my hips a little bit skinnier and my thighs a little bit skinnier. And then it was only then when I put on weight, like a couple years down the line, I was there like, oh my God, I look nothing like I used to. And then I was like, yeah, but to be honest, that old picture of me was edited anyway. And that for me was a real moment when I was like, I am never going to edit or alter my body in any photo ever again, because it's not that I just think it's like an irresponsible thing to do if you have a platform. I didn't even have many followers back then anyway, but I was like, it's just irresponsible for my own mental health.
I think it's also so interesting with the shift from body positivity to body acceptance, and kind of part of body acceptance, which I think is much more attainable for people than rather than just being positive all the time. But going into body acceptance, I think it is about going, I'm accepting every change that's going to come. That's the weight fluctuations, that is the stretch marks, the cellulite, everything that is going to come. That's menopause one day. All of these things, it's accepting the changes and the journey that your body will go on. And being like, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm ready for her.
I've moved away from talking about body confidence because, like I said earlier, I feel like I've said what I need to say, and now I'm passing it on to people that need to talk about it and have incredibly inspiring, empowering stories. How do we use Instagram to talk about other things and for it to be less body focused? But then obviously it's just photos of ourselves.
Yeah, it's hard. And sometimes I got to a point where I was like, I wouldn't upload a picture of me wearing underwear or a bikini or something if my body didn't look perfect.
And it's good for people to see, just like, this is a person in situ, and skin folds on everybody.
And without mentioning it. I feel like that's
exactly. That's the more powerful thing.
Sorry, I'm not looking that great in this picture today, by the way. Sorry, it's a bit of an unflattering angle. Lol, I don't want to draw attention to it.
You also just shouldn't have to apologise for existing.
Yeah, exactly. It's apologising for existing, and no one wants to have to do that.
How can we all use our social media to create a safer space for body image conversations?
I think we forget how fast culture and society is moving along with technology, and along with like these conversations are changing, and you know what is now like kind of the popular or right thing to do isn't necessarily what was right or the popular thing back to do like previously. It changes, so you just got to do what feels right for you.
We've got some audience questions from followers. How can I be a woman who exercises without my friends or family assuming I'm doing it to lose weight?
For me personally, I think exercise needs to be kind of renegotiated in a lot of people's minds, as you're doing it to nurture yourself, you're doing it to celebrate your body and your movement, and it should be joyful. Before, we were taught to feel shame around our bodies in PE classes and things like that. We used to spin around for hours, play duck, duck, goose. Why can't we get back to that?
Because it really is fun to just move.
I love this one. So what advice would you give to your 16-year-old self, honey?
Stop. Stop. No, not just stop. I think it would be stop giving all of this love and attention to men who aren't worth it, and give it to yourself.
I'd want to shake myself a little bit and just be like, you are fine the way you are. You are enough. You are going to do great. Stop worrying so much. I was such an anxious person, and I just like I wish I knew what it was. I wish I knew that it was okay, and I wish I had someone to sort of just tell me, like, yeah, it's okay to feel this way and everything's going to be fine. Keep on going, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I tell myself. Keep on, you're going to do great. You're going to do great,
You're going to
sweetie.
make it through this.
This conversation has given me so much just fulfillment. We're so lucky to be able to just like have an insight, like a slice of your lives. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us. And thank you for watching. Honey's watched the whole Wilds. Wilds, haven't you?
Yes.
I love that. I'm starting tonight. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to sit down tonight. It's Friday night. I'm going to start my first episode. Sophie's
Same,
joining.
yeah, I know we're going to do this.
It's so good.
I'm so excited.
I have to say, I was like, if I'd had that TV show as a teenager, because the range of stories. Oh, God, you're going to cry. I've been crying at every episode. And it's not like it is, it's just good. It's good TV. And I was like, this is what we all need.
It's exactly what we need, yeah.
We need
Amazing.
that. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode of The Wilds Retreat. Remember to tune in to The Wilds on Prime Video, streaming now.